On this episode of Disney Parks Rumors and News, it's all news, no rumors. I'm Melissa with Make Sense of Magic, and there is a lot to talk about today. Disney just announced the upcoming release of Lightning Lane Premier Pass for Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Essentially, Lightning Lane Premier Pass is going to allow guests who purchase it to enter the Lightning Lane for eligible attractions without making a reservation. You'll be able to just show up and enjoy the attraction anytime you feel like it. Sounds amazing, right? It will be, but it comes with a hefty price tag. We're going to talk about cost, Premier Pass details, and my crazy idea on how you could potentially use this pricey pass to save you money on your overall Disney vacation. You know I'm always scheming on how to make things more affordable, and I think I found a way with Premier Pass. It's not girl math either. It's solid, real, third grade level math. Let's talk about the details. Lightning Lane Premier Pass will include all the attractions currently offered with Lightning Lane Multi-Pass and Lightning Lane. Guests can use the pass to enter each applicable attraction once per day. Photo Pass downloads are also included for the day. Lightning Lane Premier Pass will work a bit differently at Disneyland and Disney World. Disney World will begin piloting its Lightning Lane Premier Pass on October 30th with very limited availability. At launch, Disney World's Lightning Lane Premier Pass will be available only to guests staying at Deluxe and Deluxe Villa resorts. Guests of those resorts will be able to purchase Lightning Lane Premier Pass up to 7 days in advance of their stay, except for the launch date, which will have no advance purchases. Disney World's Lightning Lane Premier Pass will be park-specific, with different prices depending on the park and date. For now, there is no park hopper version of the pass at Disney World. Like park admission, the highest prices are for limited dates during the busiest time of year. Guests will be able to see price passes 21 days in advance on a calendar in Disney World's app. Here's how much Lightning Lane Premier Passes are going to cost per person per day. At Disney's Animal Kingdom, it will be $129 to $199 plus tax. At Epcot, it will be $169 to $249 plus tax. At Disney's Hollywood Studios, it will be $269 to $349 plus tax. And at Disney's Magic Kingdom, it will be $329 to $449 plus tax. This is per person per day. It's going to work a little bit differently over at Disneyland. Disneyland will launch its Lightning Lane Premier Pass on Wednesday, October 23rd. Typically, guests will be able to purchase the pass up to 2 days in advance of a park reservation, but there will be no advanced booking for the start date. Unlike Walt Disney World, Disneyland's pass will be open to all guests on a first-come, first-served basis with very limited availability. Also, unlike Florida at Disney World, Disneyland's pass will include Lightning Lane access to both Disneyland and Disney California Adventure Park on the same day. For the rest of 2024, Disneyland's pass will cost $400 per person per day. That price will be the same for kids and adults and be tax exempt. Next year, Disneyland's Lightning Lane Premier Pass will cost between $300 and $400 per person, depending on the date. This year's price is on the high end because the pass is debuting during peak visitation time, Halloween time, and the holidays, and the opening of Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So for the rest of 2024, it will be $400. The regular Lightning Lane Multi-Pass and Single Pass, like we've been using them, aren't going anywhere. They will stay exactly the same. Lightning Lane Premier Pass is just another way for Disney to give guests options. This has actually been a long time coming for Disney. Almost every other theme park, including Legoland and SeaWorld and Universal Studios, Knott's Berry Farm, they all have paid skip the line options. So Disney is a little behind on offering this, in my opinion. We knew this would be happening eventually. I was surprised by the cost for the Disneyland version of Lightning Lane Premier Pass. It was higher than I expected it would be. Here's a little price comparison with some of the other theme parks so you can see how they compare. You can see over at Knott's Berry Farm, they call it the Fast Lane. It costs between $74 and $129 per day. Over at Legoland in Florida, they call it the Fast Track Unlimited. It's $70 to $125 per day. If you're looking at cost, the new Lightning Lane Premier Pass compares most closely with the one at Universal Orlando Unlimited, where you can ride each attraction as much as you want per day, and it is good for every single attraction. At Disneyland, you'll only be able to use it on 24 of 53 attractions. So essentially, you'll be able to skip the line on half of the attractions at Disneyland and California Adventure Park. At this time, the only option is to use it as a park hopper. You can't purchase the Premier Pass for one of the parks. It includes both parks. So if you use it, you're going to want to make sure you have a park hopper so you can really take advantage of it. Big question, how is this going to affect standby lines? I honestly don't think we'll see much of a difference for wait times for the standby line with the addition of the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. This pass is expensive, so most guests are not going to be purchasing it. Disney also recently revamped their DOS Pass program. The DOS Pass allowed guests with certain disabilities to access the attractions through the Lightning Lanes. The old program was broken and being severely taken advantage of by guests who didn't actually need the service. So the revamp of the DOS program has tightened up eligibility and eliminated a lot of the scammers who were using the system, which has freed up space in the Lightning Lane. So my guess is that we won't see much change at all in the wait times across the board for standby lines on Lightning Lane attractions. Now, I know there's going to be people out there who are upset by these changes, specifically that price. It is high. I totally agree with you. It's a lot of money, but I do think it's a good thing overall. This is why. Disney is giving people options. You get to decide what kind of vacation you want to have. You can definitely go the more budget-friendly route by using standby lines or the regular Lightning Lane multi-pass. Or, if your budget allows, you could add the Lightning Lane Premier Pass and skip the standby lines and the hassle of making reservations for Lightning Lane attractions. Being able to just show up and enjoy an attraction whenever you want without having to make a Lightning Lane reservation is incredibly valuable. Not being glued to your phone making reservations and checking return times and wait times is going to be appealing to a lot of people. Before Lightning Lane Premier Multipass, the only other option to use Lightning Lanes without making reservations was a VIP tour. While you certainly aren't getting the same access that a VIP tour gives you with the Premier Pass, the ease of accessing attractions is basically the same, since a VIP tour guide walks guests through the Lightning Lane in whatever order they like when you're on a VIP tour. The Premier Pass will essentially do the same thing, you're just not going to have a guide to help you skip the lines. A VIP tour ranges anywhere from $450 to $900 per hour with a minimum of 7 hours. That puts the cost as high as $6,300 on the maximum range. You can have up to 10 people, though, in your VIP tour. But needless to say, a VIP tour is expensive, and it is still much more expensive than the Lightning Lane Premier Pass. The Premier Pass gives guests who don't mind spending more money in exchange for convenience a mid-range option that definitely costs less than a VIP tour. Now, how can you get your hands on the Premier Pass and all of its benefits and actually save money on your vacation at the same time? It can be done. As soon as I heard about the Premier Pass, I started scheming about how I could make it fit into our family's vacation budget. I know how valuable it will be, and honestly, the convenience of it will be worth it for my family. The fact that I won't have to sit there on my phone making reservations, trying to figure out how I can maximize our time, get in all the attractions we want to while still fitting in those return time windows. It's a lot. It's stressful. So the convenience is going to be worth it to me, but that cost is hard to swallow. There's just no way that my family could add it to a 3 or a 4 day Disneyland vacation. It's just not going to happen. But we could shorten our trip and add it to 1 or 2 days of our vacation. Because it will be so simple to use the Premier Pass and you won't have to make reservations, you could easily ride all of the 24 Lightning Lane attractions in a day with time to spare. Easily. So my plan is I'm going to add the Lightning Lane Premier Pass and just reduce the amount of days that we're spending at the Disneyland Resort. I did some math, and it's actually going to save our family money, and we'll get to use the Premier Pass. Here's a little price breakdown. A 3-day adult hopper ticket with the Lightning Lane Multipass, the regular Lightning Lane Multipass, will cost $601 for an adult ticket. A 1-day hopper Tier 4 ticket is $250. When I add Lightning Lane Premier Pass for the day at the highest price of $400, it comes to $650 for the day. Now, I could definitely get that price down if I were to visit on a Tier 1 day, purchase a Tier 1 or a Tier 2 ticket, but I just put in a Tier 4 because it's kind of middle of the road. So it comes to $650 for the day. That's a $50 difference. I'm paying $50 more if I go for 1 day with the Premier Pass than if I went for 3 days with the regular Lightning Lane Pass. If I visited for 3 days, I would definitely spend more than $50 on food during those 2 extra days. And if I visit for just 1 day, I can reduce the number of nights I'm spending in a hotel, which will save me money too. So I can visit for 1 day with the Premier Pass, hit all of the attractions that I want to, have a great day, stress-free, because I'm not making reservations, and save a little bit of money. My kids are older, and for our family, spending 1 long day skipping the standby lines and hitting all of the rides quickly without the hassle of making reservations sounds like a dream come true. Of course, I won't do this all the time. This isn't going to be something that we do every time we visit, but occasionally our family will use it for a day to really maximize our time. I think it's going to be a great option for people who are only planning on spending 1 day at Disneyland. You're really going to be able to hit all of the attractions that you want to in that 1 day with Premier Pass. Like I said earlier, it's just another option, and I really like that Disney gives us different options. Whether you choose to use it or not, you're still going to have a great time on your Disney vacation. Like I said, I will be using this occasionally, not all the time because of the cost, but occasionally when I do, I know I'm going to love it. I will, of course, be testing out the Premier Pass for you. I'm going to cough up that $400, test it out, and share my honest opinion about the new pass so you can have more information and decide if it's right for you. I'll be doing that in just a couple of weeks, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss that video when it drops. I would love to hear your opinion about the new Premier Pass. What do you think about it? What do you think about the cost? Will you use it? Let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. We'll talk soon.